This is your new co-judge.
Oh, perfect. It's an improvement for sure.
Last year, I described someone as being the worst singer in America. I think you're possibly the worst singer in the world, based on that performance. And I'm absolutely serious. I've never, ever heard anything like that in my life. Ever. Whatever the opposite of entertaining is, that was you. If anyone ever asked me what it would be like going to hell, I think I've just experienced it.
And girl, when I look at you, oh, I fall in love. No doubt you look so fine. Whoa. Girl, I wanna make you mine.
Yeah, come on.
Just let me be with the woman that I love.
Woman that I love.
You have one of the worst voices I've ever heard, truthfully. It is absolutely terrible. You can't sing.
If you walked into a record company, if you got in, I think they'd throw you out even before you sang.
Have you ever seen me this upset?
Yes, 15,000 people applied in Cleveland, and yet the odds of you getting through are 1,000,000 to 1. So the image is hideous.
It's
Absolutely
hideous.
Victor, you are a terrible singer, you are a terrible dancer, you have no charisma.
Terrible.
I mean, everything...
No charisma.
No. This was a very hammy, bad audition for you as something you aspire to be, which obviously isn't a singer. And it's bad, it's not funny, you're not good at anything, and this is all your lips.
No, I'm not
Ian, I haven't
British
finished
person
it.
tell me
Ian,
what an American
Ian, I haven't
idol
finished
is.
yet, okay? It's just rubbish.
I can sing.
Just not in tune. There is a difference between being confident and deluded, and you fall, unfortunately, into the latter. No one would pay to see you perform.
I know a lot of people who'd pay at least a tenner to see me.
I know a lot of people who pay not to hear you, Ashwin.
Whatever.
If you were to progress in this competition and, God forbid, win, I think you could single-handedly close down the show. Look, girls, I can sort of understand how you two found each other, because it's rare to find two people as bad as you on the... No, but it is. What's the act, Patrick?
I'm a gospel choir.
Just you.
Yes, I'm a choir.
Did you eat them?
Simon!
No one else around. Well, where's the rest? Where's the rest of them? You're too old to be a Barbie doll, sweetheart. It was like you'd swallowed a load of people and they're all screaming. It was seriously unbelievable. Patricia, how do you think that went?
I don't know.
Well, it didn't go great, and I don't see you selling out in Japan, China, America, England. I mean, it was just actually one of the worst versions of that song I've ever heard. No competition. That was so awful, it was beyond description, David. Sometimes I expect a lot, and for whatever reason, I thought when you walked on, you were going to be good.
I am. I really am.
Cassie, you just got a very, very slightly whiny voice, and you sound like you got a really bad cold. Still got the confidence. Looks, personality, talent, no. Stephen, I mean, just awful, really.
Just awful.
Yeah. I don't know what cats being squashed sound like in Lithuania, but I now have a pretty good idea. I mean, sorry, girl. Good enough. I think you're probably the most disillusioned group of people we've had in this competition. And that's the truth. I think the group is horrendous. You have absolutely zero edge, no originality. I think individually you're weak. I think as a group you're even worse. Absolutely zero chance of you guys ever having a successful career. Christopher, let me just put this into perspective. If you were to win and sing a song, you would kill the American record industry. Girls, individually you sound horrendous. Together you sound even worse. I don't think anyone will ever pay to hear you sing.
I knew you were waiting. I knew you were waiting for me.
Can I stop this?
Why?
Because I'm bored out of my mind. You look a little odd, your dancing is terrible, the singing was horrendous, and you look like one of those creatures that live in the jungle with those massive eyes. you just killed every cat in Denver. You would have been old-fashioned 40 years ago. You're not as good as you think you are. 1,000,000% no. You do sound like two pub singers. You are everything we are not looking for.
Nothing like a good stanky.
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. You could lie in a bath with your mouth open and you still wouldn't sing. But it's true.
Stop it!
I'm going to stop you there, Cynthia. Because you're right, that wasn't dreadful, but it wasn't horrible. It was absolutely ghastly. No, if the judging criteria or the voting criteria here was to vote people through for managing to sing every note out of tune, you would win tonight. That is how bad it was. I'm sorry, it was absolutely excruciating. From start, middle, and finish. Well, the good news is you made your brother sound good. You couldn't win this competition if you were the only person in it in 1,000,000 years. Number one, you can't sing. Number two, you didn't remember the song. And number three, you can't read your own handwriting. There is as much chance of you being a pop star or a rock star as me flying to the moon tomorrow morning for breakfast. It's never going to happen, Ron. David, look, the truth is that you are completely and utterly useless. Right? Yes or no? Absolutely not.
So I look like a man.
No. You don't look like a man. You look like a man dressed as a woman.
So I look like a drag.
You do a bit.
I'm home and like this. Oops.
What happened? Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a weird place to stop.
Oh.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm just saying, you remind me of somebody when you're at a party and someone's had a few drinks right at the end, attempts to sing something, and then you're thrown out the house. Have you all got colds? I mean, that was a racket, wasn't it? You can't sing.
Well, I think I can.
But I just think you should give us a chance
But a chance to do what?
to improve.
Yeah, girls, we have weeks, not decades.
Look, there's any other voice in the world that can sing like that.
We all agree with that.
Simon, what do you think?
I think it's terrifying, the fact that you are a, maths professor, tutor, whatever you are, and you think that is acceptable. I mean, it's literally terrifying.
Why is it terrifying?
It was a horrific audition. You must know that.
Horrifically good.
Bad. And you think this is what the winner of X Factor 4 should be like?
Yeah, it shows the joy of life, as far as I can see.
For who? Not in 1,000,000,000 years. There are only so many words I can drag out of my vocabulary to say how awful that was. How well do you think you did?
I think I really did great.
Oh.
Can I tell you what I thought, Rosa?
Sure.
Your audition was horrendous.
Horrendous.
Horrendous with a capital H. I mean, I've heard some weird auditions in my life, but I've got to tell you, that is possibly the weirdest I've ever heard in my life. I mean, it was like a 1-year-old singing that song. Emma,
I mean, this song,
the greatest of
this
respect.
song is a really lovely song.
Not, but Emma, it is a beautiful song when you're not singing it. You're a Russian in America singing an English song with a French accent. No.
I think if I was to move on, I'd miss about 4 next time.
Well, if you were to move on, it would be without me judging this competition.
Yeah, this
You
is
see, you
a
just
small amount of
murdered
pressure.
3 songs in a row. 4. Honestly?
Yeah.
Horrific.
Huh?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, look, it was bad enough when you started, then your husband kicked in, and then Otto and his sister. I think every note was out of tune, to be honest with you. It was like the 6 of you were waiting for a bus, and someone said, "Can you sing us Demi Lovato's song?" When you entered this competition, did you really believe that you could become what you're standing on now, the American Idol?
Yes, sir.
Well, then you're deaf. The reality is that you should be singing in a dress and stilettos.
Oh,
I'm not being rude.
To me, that is extremely rude.
Let me finish.
That's extremely rude.
I'm trying to help you here. It says here you work as a wedding singer.
I was.
How many ended in divorce? If I were you, I'd phone up the War Department, volunteer your services, because you've just invented a new form of torture. I wouldn't play that at my funeral.
So mean.
Constructive.
I think if you win this competition, we would have failed. So I'm sorry.
Thank you.